So, today we're going to take a look at the Canva for Google Workspace app, which was recently added to your account. If you go to your Google Drive, here on the right, you'll see a list of apps available. One of them is now Canva. Go ahead and click on that, and it's going to open up a window, and it's going to prompt you to log into Google. Go ahead and log in with your LANCSD account. You're going to select all and give Canva access to these options. Scroll down and click continue. Here is where it's going to ask you to choose which space you want attached. If you are a longtime Canva user, you might have more than one. If you are a brand new Canva user, you probably just have your site. So it would have your name there. You're going to go ahead and allow it, and you can close the window. It then gives you the two options of how to utilize this Canva for Google Workspace app. So there are two ways to utilize this. The first one is to go to New and then More, and you're going to see the Canva app in there. This will create a brand new presentation for you. So you can use your templates, anything else from Canva, and it creates a nice little shortcut in your Google Drive so you can open with Canva. The other option is to take a presentation or a document that you already have, and you right click and go to Open With and Canva. Now, it's going to import the design. It's going to take a minute or two, so just sit tight and let them work. All right, and there we go. So you can see there's a little discrepancy there with my title, and they're going to ask you to do file import feedback. I suggest that you do that because that's going to do nothing but help them make improvements. So as I check through, I can see that everything else pretty much looks the same with the exception of that title. So I'm going to go ahead and fill out the feedback. The graphics were fine. The text was a little off. And I might give them a little description as to what is going on and then submit it. Okay, so that being said, I'm now going to show you a couple of the challenges with this Canva for Google Workspace add-on. One of the big deals is that let's say that I want to create a new design. And we talked about how I can now go into New, More, Canva, and it links the two and creates a shortcut within your Google Drive that brings you into Canva. So obviously, I'm not going to keep this as Canva presentation. I might change this to adding fractions presentation. Now, if I change the title here and go back into my Google Drive, you're going to notice it is not changing names. So I would have to go and rename this as adding fractions presentation. Okay, so whenever you update the title in Canva, you have to come back and update the title in your Google Drive. That's the first struggle. The next one is a lot of us were using the Canva program before we had access to this app. So I'm sure if you guys are Canva users like me, you have a ton of things within your Canva drive already that would be really nice to have within your Google Workspace. Unfortunately, there is no real simple way to do this. So I am going to show you just so you can see how to get that shortcut in there. Okay. So the first step is to open whatever you want to make the shortcut to. You're going to go to Share. You're going to choose See All. If you scroll down, you're going to see that you can save it to your Google Drive. You're going to choose where you want to put it. And a file type. Here's where it gets a little sticky. So you have the option of a PNG or a JPEG, which are images, a PowerPoint, or a PDF. Our choice here is going to be a PowerPoint. But what it's literally doing is it is dropping a copy of this presentation as a PowerPoint into your Google Drive. Okay. Now, I would love to be able to just click and say open with Canva, but you're going to see what happens. Every time I've tried to do this with a PowerPoint, it gives me an error code. Whenever I do this with a Google slide, it does it with no problem. So the workaround is this, but there are some catches. I can open up my PowerPoint, and it's pretty much going to look exactly like what you had within Canva, but I have to go under File and Save as a Google slide. Okay, so you'll notice it pretty much looks the same. Luckily, the fonts we chose were Google fonts, so nothing has really changed. Okay, when I go back to my recent, I can see the difference in the logo. I have a PowerPoint, I have a slide. I'm going to delete the PowerPoint because, as you saw, there you can't use the app to open it up in Canva. But now, since it's a Google slide, I can open with Canva. And here's the little bit of a sad thing. So you are going to see that there is a slight discrepancy when I am opening up this Google slide deck within Canva. So even though it was originally created in Canva, it doesn't remember. So same font, if I look at it, caveat, and I come back here, it changed it from caveat brush to caveat. So you might lose some of your fonts from here and there, but then you have this lovely little shortcut within your Google Drive that when you double click on it, it's going to open up in Canva for you. So no more having to search through your Canva to find your presentations. You can put them into your Google Drive and organize them how you will, and it will open up directly from there.